Hey everyone, today I wanted to tell you about a cool little study about cannabis and how it affects inflammation in the intestines. For many decades, people who consume cannabis would tout its benefits. They were often mocked as hippies and drug addicts who naively believed that cannabis was some kind of medical panacea. Obviously, cannabis isn't a panacea. It's not a cure-all by any stretch of the imagination. But in the more recent decades, specifically the most recent decade, more and more scientific analysis has been done, and our understanding of cannabis has become a lot more detailed. In a win for the hippies, the majority of cannabis's benefits that they've been talking about for so long are now being validated with scientific studies and objective research. With that said, I want to bring your attention now to one such study that validates one of these claims. People suffering from Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or really any other intestinal problems that get brushed under the umbrella of irritable bowel syndrome, all of these people have long been advocates of cannabis because they claim that it helps soothe their intestinal discomfort and allows them to relax and feel not shitty for a little bit. A new study led by PhD Beth McCormick from the UMass Medical School and published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, examined gut inflammation, and found that certain molecules called cannabinoids and endocannabinoids play a key role in the regulation of gut inflammation, and are able to treat the associated symptoms of discomfort, nausea, and pain. The researchers describe one already known process in the intestines. When potentially pathogenic material is ingested, like meat that could have bacteria that survived cooking, the immune system makes an aggressive effort to police the ingested food, to identify and kill any pathogens before they can be absorbed or before they can sneak elsewhere into the body. This response keeps us healthy, but it can also induce pretty heavy inflammation throughout the intestines. The cytokines and chemokines released by immune cells are used to signal other immune cells to come to the fight, but by doing so they can also irritate and inflame the soft nearby tissue, like the epithelial tissue that lines the inside of the intestines. In this study, the researchers identified a second process, which acts like a downregulator for the first process. To put it very briefly, a chemical messenger will come by and basically say, "Okay, that's enough," and it'll shut down the immune system response, which will reduce inflammation. This second process depends on an endocannabinoid molecule, and if that molecule isn't there, inflammation will persist, unchecked. So the endocannabinoid is a regulator molecule that suppresses this inflammation and reduces the symptoms that are associated with it. Dr. Beth McCormick and her colleagues quickly made the connection between this data and the anecdotal claims of decades of cannabis consumers. Another researcher behind the paper, PhD Randy Mersney from the University of Bath, was reported as saying, and I quote, "We need to be clear that while this is a plausible explanation for why marijuana users have reported cannabis relieves symptoms of IBD, we have thus far only evaluated this in mice, and have not proven this experimentally in humans. We hope, however, that these findings will help us develop new ways to treat bowel diseases in humans." Unquote. So this isn't hard proof in humans, but it is still exciting. Like most science, it's a step in the right direction. We've identified a specific endocannabinoid molecule and a major function that it plays in mice intestines. And so, we have a target mechanism and a target molecule that we can look for in humans. If we find it in humans, well, that will really validate some of the claims from the cannabis enthusiast community. But more importantly, it will be more support for the medical utility of cannabis. And hopefully studies like this, and the medical products that come out of them, will encourage the authorities to adopt a more nuanced, fact-based approach to cannabis. But I'm not holding my breath.